Hey guys, it's Jay from Sharp Survival in association with the UK Survival Network. Just wanted to do a quick video. A couple of times I've mentioned about having a survival pod, as I refer to it. This is a small handheld device that could be used in a number of different ways to store information, possibly navigation and such. Now, this is what I'm using. It's a leftover iPhone 4S. It looks a bit bigger than you would do normally. The main reason is I have a Griffin Survivor case on it. Very heavy, kind of rubberized and very grippy. Drop this from 6 feet without it doing any damage or anything like that. It did have a screen protector on there, which does make it waterproof. I've taken it off. I found I had a little bit of a problem tapping on the touchscreen. Now, the main reason I have this is it was an old phone that I'm just trying to recycle. Essentially, there's a slight mark on the screen. You probably won't even see it on the computer, on the video. But basically, Mazuma Mobile wouldn't class it as faulty and would only offer me about £30 for it. So to me, I thought to myself, well, for £30, it's not worth even selling. It still works absolutely fine. It's just a slight mark on the display. So I thought to myself, well, okay, well, we'll use this best as we can. Now, what I'm going to do is just talk you through how I use this. There's a couple of specific apps on here. Now, this is an iPhone. You're not 100% need to have an iPhone. It can be done on Android or anything like that. I'm not against Android or anything like that. It's just the fact that this is an old phone that I had when I upgraded. I was able to pass that across. So, what I'm going to do here is just talk you through. So, my nice secure password. Now, obviously, operational security, having that security level where you have to enter a passcode does keep your information safe, even if you're bugging out. If you have copies of documents or anything like that stored on there, anyone that got hold of your bag would be able to read them. This is obviously a security measure here. Now, this isn't a normal passcode, just in case anyone tries to kind of find my bug out bag and find it. I do have something different for that, and all my family know this. So, now, again, proud. Keep the banner on there. Now, what I've done here is you can have this set up in any different way. It's a lot of different options for you. Those with experience with iPhones will know that. What I've basically done is just left the main communication icons on the front screen here, just so, again, I don't like clutter on my screens. Folders in the bottom here. Now I've split that into communications, media, reference, and navigation. So, what we'll do, obviously, communication, I've just included some basics. You can see there I've got Safari, Facebook Messenger, Twitter, stuff like that. Again, just because the phone networks go down doesn't mean I wouldn't be able to connect to a Wi-Fi source nearby. And obviously, some of the fastest news on incidents could be via Twitter or Facebook. So that way it's allowing me to continue communications when a phone network might be down. So can't send text messages or phone calls, but can look at communicating online. FaceTime's in there as well. Not that we would really be using that. So that's the main communication. Obviously, you have got phones and text there as well. This is the media part. Now, I have a kind of photos, video, music. This is a 32 gig, so there is a bit of memory on there. One of the main reasons I didn't want to chuck it was 16 gig. I probably would have just sold it, but I can use this primarily as an iPod. Obviously, you can have a lot of different kind of music and such on there. So I've got some music now. Obviously, this for me is just the options that we can have here, just for a little bit of entertainment. Obviously, it's going to be a lot of downtime. People think, oh, you're going to be running around the whole time, jumping over things or carving things. Yes, there's going to be a lot of work to do, but there's also going to be a lot of downtime. As soon as that sun sets, doing anything in the dark is going to be more problematic. So a bit of downtime, maybe have this running, video, normal kind of stuff. I've included some films on there. As I said, it's a 32 gig iPhone, so it's got plenty of space on there. I've also got some TV shows. So these are just kind of one-off. Now, what I would normally have on here is some survival-related stuff. Ray Mears, big fan of Ray. He's got a lot of informative shows. Maybe some kind of instructional. There's some really good stuff on by National Geographic. So we've got that. We've got photos as well. Now, one thing I like about this is obviously I've got the UKSN logo and such, but it also allows you to do reference. Now this is, for those of you familiar, that's the UKSN regional map. So I can zoom right into where we are down here in southeast area, and I'm down in West Sussex. So you can kind of zoom right in. Gives you that flexibility there, but it also gives you the option for reference. So you can see these are our radio frequencies that we have published, and the 333 radio cheat sheet. So there we have all the frequencies that can very easily be seen, the different things. So I have a digital copy of that. So it means even if I lose a bit of paper, my bag gets wet or anything like that, this would have been alright. So that's one way of storing information via picture. Now you can also put family photos and stuff like that in there. It's quite important to kind of keep yourself motivated. That's all included in there. We do have the camera. Again, that can be quite handy on the way where you're bugging out or stuff like that, taking photographs of key locations, or just to kind of keep a log of yourself of what's going on. And it's kind of take a photograph of your house when you're leaving, when you're bugging out, just to prove what state it was in when you're taking it. All the photos will be time stamped, and obviously you can have that as evidence if you later on need to claim for insurance or something like that. So that's media. Now the reference, you can do a million different things. I've got notes on here. Now you can input loads of different information. I've got nothing on here at the moment, but you can put all of your information on here, personal information, medical information. Everything can be listed on this, including GPS coordinates for key areas that you want to go to, your bug out location, for example. So that can all be stored on there. Calendar, again, doesn't sound that interesting, but obviously if you're looking at a long-term shit hit the fan, trying to keep track of days can be difficult at times. This will do it all for you. You've got clocks, you've got stopwatches, timers, alarms, elements like that. They're always helpful for the 333 radio. So you can sit this on the side. Every 3 hours it beeps at you, you know to turn the radio on, so you can less keep an eye on the clock all the time. Now you also have other options here, like these are specific apps that we've got. I like these kind of things here, covering kind of, let's get that, I haven't opened it in a while, shelter, food, medicine, tools and weapons, direction finding and survival planning. So this kind of includes all of those options as well as different digital tools. Now I've got quite a few of these on here. I've got the Lofty Wiseman SAS Survival. I'd recommend that to anyone, just to put on your phone anyway. It's an interesting read if you're not doing anything. I've got a thing on wild plants. And I've got the Bear Grylls collection, so I've got the SOS compass. So they're just a very, very simple kind of app that just breaks down everything. So that just gives you a compass location. Doesn't really calibrate it, so kind of does exactly what you need it to. The Bear Grylls stuff also has SOS, which is quite helpful because I can't keep up with SOS. I constantly make mistakes. So with that, you can obviously type in your message you want, and it will actually beep it out and call it Morse code for you. Now, this is the main part that I tend to focus on. I've downloaded an app here called Forever Maps. If you click on that, now this is an offline mapping system. So even when the grid is down, your GPS on the phone will still work. So this will use an offline map that you download, and it will basically be able to access, so I was going through updates, this will be able to access the stored map on the hard drive. I think the UK map is it's kind of a couple of hundred meg, but it basically means that the digital format will be able to pick up where you are. So there you go, it's automatically picking up where I am, and obviously I can zoom in, zoom out of all those different locations. Just gonna zoom out a bit. All of you know I'm in West Sussex, so I'm not too worried about that. And there you go. So that's where I am based on the UK. And this covers all the different areas. It covers road maps, such. I can put in GPS coordinates into this, and it will be able to tell me the best route to go via main roads. Or I can use the onboard compass and be able to take a compass bearing and go via that. This is essentially working like a TomTom or a Garmin SatNav, but it has a lot more functionality with it. The memory storage can be used for a number of different things. I've got survival PDFs in here, military survival manuals, stuff that I wouldn't normally want to kind of carry. Medical survival documents that could be quite a large book. A couple inch or so thick is my main military medical manual. That obviously weighs quite a bit, takes up a bit of space in the bag. If I transferred the PDF that I was able to download for free off a survival website, and obviously I can just put it straight onto here and look at it. So I can read it page by page. Gives me something to do on the download. Okay, so I'm just going to very quickly, just calibrate. There you go. There you go. Yay. So I can tell you work out an exact compass bearing. Nice and simple. But all of these functions are built in. There's only a few apps on here. Some of the reference apps are kind of, they can be a little bit pricey. They vary in price. I think this was about £2, I think. So again, not exactly expensive, well worth an investment. If you have a phone lying around, I mean, I tend to have these kind of apps. All these apps are on my main phone, which is an iPhone 6 at the moment. That's a 64 gig, so I can put a lot of different things onto there without too much of an issue. The case itself, ignore the matchbox, just using that as a booster stand. This is a wonderful little case. Comes with quite a sufficient clip on the back, but as I said, it's heavily rubberized around the outside. If I kept all of the tags, I took them all off, but this would have been waterproof as well. So you drop it in a puddle or anything like that, you wouldn't have had a problem. I've customized it, so I have purposely done that. And the other thing I do like about this, which is the main reason I got it, turn that 90 degrees. If you open up the clip, it locks out like that. Comes a stand. So the good thing about that is you can turn around and say, I want to watch this TV show, I want to look at that photo, I want to have the audio book or anything like that being played to me. Again, a lot of functionality in that, and hopefully this will give you an idea. Maybe you say you've got a spare phone lying around, smartphone, that you could potentially use to increase this. The only downside with these, obviously, is the power. I normally have a power chimp, or I have a Power Gorilla Extreme. It's a solar charger that plugs into a standalone battery. Battery can then be used to plug into this. I like that option because of the freedom it gives me. It means I can use this during the day whilst my solar panel is charging the battery. Then at night I can connect this to the battery and charge the phone. So it means that I don't have to plug this into a solar panel and just sit there holding it like this, not being able to use it. It just kind of gives me that little extra level of ability to do that. Solar charger, once the battery's fully charged, I normally get 2 full charges on this. If I'm using it for a minimal amount, normally lasts a day and a half, 2 days. Again, the better the phone, the better your battery life's going to be. This is, again, what I've had left over is me using the best I can. So that's my survival pod. I'd recommend it for everyone because, as I say, the functionality of this is superb. It really is good. Obviously, not only Apple, you can use Android. I've seen certain other people use BlackBerry because it's encrypted. If you're into that, great. If not, you can stick with what you know. Nice and easy to use. And the beautiful thing about it is, because my family know all the passcode to this, it means if anything happens to me on the big wide bad world, post shit hit the fan, it means that they have a source of information. I can put instructions on here as to anything, where I think they should go. Gives them all the ability to get there as well. So, well, it's Joe from Sharp Survival, just giving you an overall idea on what you can do with an old iPhone, recycling, and fingers crossed, as I say, we shouldn't ever have to need this, but if we do, I'd like to have it on hand. Okay guys, any feedback, always welcome. throw some comments down below. Cheers.